Well, hey everybody, and welcome back to Elm Creek Takeover. I appreciate you choosing to spend some time with me and watch another episode. So, what are we going to be doing today? So, just to catch you up, today is day number 2 of my save game. It's the first day of fall. As you can see, I've got the fatties back on the the wide tires. That is, I've got the wide tires back on the 7810, and we are going to sow probably some barley and some wheat today. But first, as a follow-up to the last episode, I want to show you something real quick, and this will kind of illustrate my point when I was talking about how to leverage your equipment. So, if you remember from the last episode, and if you haven't seen it yet, go back and watch it. We bought a sprayer and a tank to go on the front of our tractor. And I made the comment, I believe that, I found in games past that spraying is one of the best contracts you can do. So just really quickly here, I'm going to show you, kind of illustrate what I was talking about. Okay, so far in the game, and remember this is we're like 7:30 in the morning on the second day. So the second day is really not even um, really not hadn't even gotten started yet. So far my gross profit for my spraying contracts, and this is only spraying contracts, gross profit so far, I did 18,312 on the first day, and just so far on day 2. And remember, it's still 7:30 in the morning. I've already done $7,971. So in basically, let's say 24 hours time, I've done $26,283 in spraying contract gross income. And now remember, we're playing the game on the hardest difficulty level, okay? And we're trying to play by all the rules, no cheating. Um, so real quickly, just to show you here, so a total liquid fertilizer is $3,200. It's got 2,000 liters in it, so that means the unit cost for a liter of fertilizer is $1.60. Okay, so far I've bought two totes of fertilizer. So for a total, I've purchased 4,000 liters of fertilizer. So I have a tote of fertilizer sitting at my farm that has 1,485 liters still in it. So of the 4,000 that I've purchased, I've only actually used 2,515 gallons towards those contracts. So I've consumed $4,024 worth of fertilizer. And this table for the herbicide is completely the same. All the values, all the computations are the same. The values are different. But so far, I've consumed a total of $3,996 worth of herbicide, and I've actually sprayed a couple of my own fields for weeds so far. So for a total so far, it's $8,020. This is how much chemical that I have actually used, how many dollars worth of chemicals I've actually used so far. And so my total chemical expense so far is $8,020. So I say all that to say this. My gross total profit so far, barely 24 game hours into the game, is 26,000, just over 26,000. My total chemical expense, just over 8,000. So 24 hours into the game, by only doing spraying contracts, just fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, and herbicide, I've already netted, this is net profit after expenses, I've already netted $18,263. That's why in the last episode I kind of wanted to emphasize, hey guys, if you want to make some money pretty quick in the beginning, and it's good money, because if we go back in here and we take a look at some of the other contracts that are available, look, let's look through here. Let's go. All right, yeah, $11,000. But we're gonna go plow 8 hectares. Who wants to moldboard plow 8 hectares? Yeah, of course, you make a lot of money because nobody wants to do it. This is going to take, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to take a long time to plow 8 hectares, okay? I'm sorry, Evelyn, but you can keep your $11,000. I'm going to go spray 3 guys' fields, and it's going to take me 15 real world, minutes, and I'm going to make the same amount of money. Well, four people's fields. Okay. Anyways, all right. Let's get back to what we're doing. So we are going to today. We're gonna do. I'm taking a pretty drastic approach to this game to try to really just get really ruthless on my costs and keep my expenses in check. So what we're gonna do, and this is not something I usually do. What we're gonna do is we're going to lease. We might as well just go ahead and buy. Might as well go ahead and buy a pallet of seed. So we can do that. Let's just buy a pallet of this. Yes. Okay. Back. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna lease a seeder. And I don't really know, like I haven't clicked this lease button yet, so I don't know if it's gonna come up and say, hey, you wanna lease it for a day, you wanna lease it for an hour? I don't know. But I'm picking the cheapest seeder that I can get my stuff in the ground, my crops in the ground with, and we're just gonna lease it. Do you wanna lease it for, yeah, $1,708? Sure. I don't know if that's going to be for the day. I don't know if that's going to be, I don't know how long that's going to be for, but we're going to go see. All right, let's go over here and let's get this thing hooked up. And the reason, guys, why I'm leasing is because I barely own any property. Like I barely own any land. We're going to put 2 fields in, and I mean it's going to take no time at all. I don't want to sink, this. I think this seeder, I'd have to go back and look for sure. But let's go back and look real quick here. What would this seeder cost? Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, $33,500 for the cheapest seeder we got. I don't want to sink that kind of money into this crop when it's going to take me, it's literally, it might take us 15 minutes to sow this crop. So we'll get this thing loaded up. It's not quite going to hold a full pallet of seed. That's fine. We can come back and get the rest later. All right, let's go do this. Don't see anybody coming. Oh, I remembered that the home button turned on the beacons, so we're all safe and stuff. Turn our flashers on, get that going. And even if it does just take me 15 minutes, and you think, oh yeah, but you're using, you're paying whatever, $1,700 or $1,107 or whatever it was. You're paying that much money for 15 minutes. You're only gonna have it for 15 minutes. You're paying that much money. Yes, that's true, but still, I don't want to outlay $3,300 or $33,500 for a piece of equipment that I'm going to use for 15 minutes a year. And you could say, oh well, yeah, but hey, listen, you could do, you could do seeding contracts with it. Well, yes, that is an accurate statement. We could do that. However, the problem with that is that I'm sorry if there's anybody in Europe that's watching this, but guys, it's a 3-meter seeder. Who's got time to do big contracts? Unfold it. Check. All right, we got her turned on. We're gonna lower it. Who's got time to do big contracts with a 3-meter wide seeder? Like, not me, guys. Like I value my time too much for that. So that's not something that's gonna happen. I may look at doing some seeding contracts later, but they're gonna be with a much bigger seeder, and it's not gonna take me near as much time as it would with this thing. So we are going to power through this. I'm going to try to go halfway sort of straight here. Probably going to have to back up a little bit here, because that sunflower field is kind of close. Okay, what I'll do, just add me a couple of headland rows to this on both ends. That way we can be a little more liberal with how we make our turns. So what do you guys think of Farming Simulator 22 so far? I'd like to know what you think. It would be great if you could put it down in the comments. And also, you know, what are your thoughts on contracting in general, and you know, the little quick spreadsheet that I just shared with you in reference to sprayer contracts. I would also like to know what you guys think about those. Because for me, you know, like I said, what I found, and I think, if I remember right, I'm trying to remember for sure, I think that contracts go all the way back to maybe 15. But gosh, for some reason it seems like they were a thing in 13. But I'd have to double check. I'd have to go back and double check to remember for sure. But you know, contracts have been around for a long time, and of course they've evolved. You know, they've gotten more complex. But I've always found that, you know, a sprayer is just something that, you know, you just want to own from the get-go, because you can get the contracts done so quickly. You know, there's that you know, oftentimes the biggest tools that we have in games, you know, the widest tools that we have in games to get work done with, they're sprayers. And so the faster you can cover the ground, the more money you can make. And yeah, it's true that, you know, there's only so many spraying contracts, and that's fine. And I agree with that. But still, at the same time, you know, the quicker you can get things done, the more money you're going to make, because you can go on to, you know, you can go on and do something else. Sorry if I'm getting you guys into the tree a little bit. I apologize. You know, in Giants, you know, I normally, you know, seeding going this fast is kind of strange. I mean, I guess we have high-speed planters now in North America, I guess. So, you know, you're supposedly be able to seed, you know, up to 10 miles an hour with some of those new high-speed planters. So, I guess 7 miles per hour isn't, you know, so crazy. It just seems kind of weird to me to be driving that fast. We'll hop back on this one right here. We'll just hammer down and get this done. Now, I mentioned to you before that that there's something that so I mentioned to you before that, you know, I'm not cheating. I'm not doing anything shady. Sorry about the tree, guys. Got one hand on the steering wheel and one hand on the keyboard. But so I mentioned earlier, you know, that I'm not doing anything, not cheating, not doing anything shady. Well, so there is one cheat that I'm using so far, and it's not really even anything, you know, it's debatable that it's even anything that is really cheating. And I'm a little later on, I'm going to show you what it is, and I'm going to explain why I feel like it's okay to cheat. All right, I'm going to speed this along just a little bit, and I will see you guys in a second when we get done with this field. All right, guys, so that's all done. And this field over here we're going to next. So, um, I debated if you'll remember from the last episode, if you didn't, if you guys saw the last episode, this field needed to be plowed, and I decided, nope, I'm going to buy a subsoiler instead of a plow because it's wider and it'll accomplish the same thing. Well, what I did not remember is that you cannot create fields with a subsoiler. You have to do that with a plow. So I was kind of hacked at myself for not remembering that, but anyways, I forgot. Um, well, so I got it subsoiled, and I thought this morning, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to rent a plow, and I'll just go ahead and I'll extend this field. And then I got to thinking, well, I have that field of sunflowers that I could probably extend a little bit as well. And really, what I probably need to do is just wait until all my fields um, are harvested and nothing is growing. And then at that point, I can just rent the plow one time, and I can extend all of my fields then. It would make a little more sense, I think. Um, right now, anyways, it makes a little more sense to just wait and get them all done at one time and only have to rent the plow one time to do that. Now, if I had gone ahead and extended this field now, would I have made enough to, with the extended field and the more, the more ground that's in cultivation, would I have profited enough to, would it have made a difference if I rented the plow twice or not? I guess I'll never know because, you know, I didn't rent the plow. But that did also cross my mind, but I'm just not really sure. It's going to be interesting to see this first harvest, what kind of yields I get. That's going to tell me a lot, I think, of how profitable the grain is and how profitable the sunflowers are going to be. And I don't know if you guys didn't see the first episode. or the last couple episodes. Um, when I bought this piece of property, the sunflowers in field, I don't know what field number it is, but anyways, the sunflowers over there, next to that first field that we just sowed a second ago, they were already planted. I mean, they were already growing. This field here and the field that we just sowed, they were fallow. There was nothing growing in those fields. Well, no, I take that back. Now that I think about it, the field that we just sowed was fallow. The field that we're sowing now had sugar beets growing in it, but I was not interested in trying to harvest those sugar beets, so I just subsoiled them under. I just went ahead and pulled the subsoiler through them, and I guess they ended up as fertilizer, actually. I'm interested to see what my rent is going to be on this. If they'll, give me some money back, or if that lease is by the day or by the hour, or what it is. I don't know. It will be interesting to know that for the future. But this thing right here is doing just as good a job, or I mean, I suppose it is. I suppose it's doing just as good a job as all those other expensive, more expensive cedars would be doing, and it cost me less money. And yeah, I mean, sure, everybody wants to go out and get the biggest. Get the biggest cedar, get the biggest tractor, and all that, and that stuff will come. But we have to have, the farm really needs cash flow to be able to support that kind of thing. And you really gotta, you kind of have to need it. You kind of have to need that equipment and be able to justify financially that equipment before you go out and spend the money for it. Alright. We got one more pass here. And we're done. That's it, folks. We're finished. Fold this baby back up, and we're going to take her over here towards the barn, and we will unload the seed out of it. And I'm going to tell you about my little cheat that I have been using. So, first of all, and remember, guys, I like to try to play as realistically as I can, as far as, how this would work in the real world. So the cheat that I'm using, one of the mods that I looked for and downloaded today, I was able to find, is the, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the, like the super strength mod, or, whatever you want to call it, which allows me to pick up, anything that I might want to pick up. And I'll explain the reason why. I'll explain the reason why that I'm using that cheat. first off, I really find it unsatisfactory that you can buy things at the store here, and you can buy pallets, you can buy big bags, you can buy, whatever, but you're expected to spend your own money to buy a forklift to be able to load these things on a trailer to take them back to your farm. Now, that makes absolutely no sense, because nowhere in the United States, anyways, would you go to a store and say, oh, I brought my forklift with me, let me use my own forklift that I own to, set the pallet of seed that I just bought on my trailer so I can take it back to my farm. Nowhere is that the case. If you buy a pallet of sacks, like I bought at the store there, you would either, the place you bought it from is going to have a forklift or a skid steer or something to load that for you. And if they don't, well, then you would just pick up the 50-pound bags and you would just put them on your trailer by hand, or you'd put them in your truck by hand, or whatever, right? Okay, so there's no way to do that in the game so far, okay? Now, the other thing here is that if I was going to unload seed out of this seeder, like I'm going to do right now, it wouldn't go into one of these big bags. It would go into small sacks that I would have left over from when I loaded the seeder. So if I had a little bit of seed left in the seeder, it would just go right back in those bags. So that's the reason why I'm using that cheat. I know it's cheating, I guess, but in my mind it's justifiable because, well, first off, I shouldn't have to buy my own forklift to load my own pallets and my own totes and my own big bags at the store that I buy them from. So it just doesn't work for me. So you guys may say, well, yeah, you're trying to play all realistic and everything, but your character can lift a 9,999 kilograms, whatever. Well, yeah, that's true. And you know what, if you want to get me for realism, okay, that's fine, but also tell me someplace where you go and buy something in bulk. That's that's a public business that you have to bring your own forklift to load your own stuff. Just not really. I just don't really. That's one part of Giants that I just don't buy, or Farm Sim that I just don't buy. And maybe one of these days there'll be, there'll be a facility for doing that, but I don't know. All right, I'm not exactly sure how we're supposed to return this. I'm assuming we just set it right here and we hop out and we return it, but I'm not totally sure. Let's see. Repaint, return. Is that what we want to do? We want to return it. So 0.3 of an hour. Do you really want to sell this vehicle? Yes. It's been returned. Alright. There we go. So, it cost me, let's see what it cost me. Let's go look at our, right here. So what did it cost me? $1,708 to lease that, drill. Okay, and I probably could have gone, let's see here. We've got baling, we've got cultivating now, fertilizing. So right here, I mean, here's some potential. It's not a whole lot of money, so I don't know if I actually go do this one or not. But if I'm in the area, I might swing by there and do it. Sowing, okay, yeah, we could have gone and done this while I had it, but I could also just wait a little while and go do a spraying contract with equipment that I already own, and and make money that way. So that's going to be kind of the end of the story for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you what I was saying has kind of made sense to you. I hope you like my tractor with my big fatty tires back on it, because I sure do. But anyways, guys, if you liked the video, please do me a huge favor and give me a thumbs up for the video. If you think you might like to see more of my content, I've also have several videos on my channel from FS19. You guys can go and check that out. You might subscribe, you might hit the bell notification if you want to do that. I would certainly appreciate it, and we will see you next time, guys. Thanks.